Everybody, Ian Magley here from East Main Digital Marketing, and thank you for joining us on this week's Business Spotlight. We are very happy and proud to be sitting with Ethan Hundley from HundleyBurn Tax and Financial Consultants today. Ethan has just been certified recently as a certified tax coach, and with that, he is able to provide some incredible tools and techniques that have been helping many small businesses save a tremendous amount and be able to utilize their pre-tax dollar and reorganize and really do some incredible things. So take a look at what Ethan has to say. If you want to reach out to him or have an opportunity to reach out to him, the information will be on the link below, as well as in the intro and at the end of this video. And definitely give him a call. He's offering a free mini tax session, and just from that tax session, I know of about 10 to 15 clients where he saved $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, just recently. So definitely give him a call or set up a time with him and take a look at our video. Thanks, guys, and we look forward to speaking and seeing everybody at our next business spotlight video next week. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this week's Business Spotlight. I am Ian Magley from East Main Digital Marketing, and we are really excited to have a great business with us today. They're very local to us in New Jersey, and we are here with Ethan Hundley from HundleyBurn Tax and Financial Consultants. Ethan, how are you today?
Great, Ian. How are you doing today?
Good, good. So as those watching, you know that we spotlight a business every single week, and Ethan has worked with us for a little while now, and we're really excited to work with him and have this spotlight as we've been trying to do this for a little while. He is it's a phenomenal business, a great accounting firm and financial advisory firm, and somebody who can help tremendously with individuals, but mostly small businesses and medium-sized businesses to help them save money in various different ways. So I know a lot of people that work with Ethan and have worked with Ethan, and just the feedback and everybody just speaks so highly. And when we have an opportunity to work with somebody of that high regard and sit with them, it always excites us for sure. So Ethan, why don't we just kind of jump right in it?
Sure.
The typical way that we do this is kind of question and answer, and we just leave it very open. Really what we want to do is be able to go over your business and get those who are watching this an opportunity to learn more about you, and maybe hopefully have an opportunity to kind of sit with you and discuss how working with you might help them.
Okay, that sounds great.
Great. So why don't we just kind of get started? Tell us a little bit about the man behind the desk. Tell us about your firm, how you got started, and a little bit about yourself.
So kind of our foundation is, I've always had a knack for numbers, but I also, most people that have a knack for numbers just a lot of times sit behind a desk and are really comfortable with that. I like a mix of both. I like being out there talking with people, helping people. So how we got started was actually my father is a CPA, and he founded our company back over 25 years ago. And as he was founding our company, I was starting my education, my college career, and I saw what he was doing, and I wanted to go into. I had a knack for numbers. I saw he was good with numbers. He kind of understood like how they've worked and flowed, and I had a real interest in that. But I also had an interest in helping people, and I saw that was what he was doing at the same time. So when it came to that, not too long after I completed my college career, got my accounting degree, I was, going for the CPA license and eventually got it, but I got that while I was getting experience working with him in the firm.
Great. So kind of go a little bit about how you got into the business. Tell us a little bit deeper. So what really kind of was there a kind of a aha moment or anything of that nature that really said, this is what I want to do for my career?
Well, like I said, I've always been really good with numbers, and I've always been interested in that, and that came naturally to me.
Sure.
But I've always enjoyed relationships with people.
Sure.
And I didn't really know it early in my career, but that's what this business is really, being a CPA and having your own firm is really about.
Right.
And that's what drives me. I love helping people, but I love helping educate them on what their numbers mean to them and their business and their goals.
Sure. So, excellent. So tell us a little bit about your clients. What's your ideal client? Who do you work with? What are both kind of now and then going forward? What's your kind of the ideal individual or business that you want to you can help the most?
Right. Well, it's really a business owner for the most part. Small to mid-sized companies over the last 20 plus years I've helped in various ways, and I like working with business owners because I am one myself, and I feel like I can understand who they are and what they do, and they can have trust and faith and confidence in me being a business owner myself, like they are, to really help them and understand how to get from point A to point B in their business and have that drive their goals. Whether it's within their business or what they want out of their business.
Sure. So, excellent. Great. So now you're a certified tax coach.
Yes.
Great. Great to hear. And I've heard, wonderful things about that program. You're one of only 600, I believe, right?
That's correct. Out of the 700,000 tax professionals in this country, there's only 600 certified tax.
So tell us a little bit about what does that mean? What is a certified tax coach?
So what it is there's a lot of accountants and tax professionals out there that are really good at keeping their clients out of jail, so to speak, in compliance with the current tax laws. Well, there's so much that goes into the current tax laws in order to fill forms out properly. So there's so much education. Even myself, I take at least almost like a week's worth of classes each year, just on keeping up to date with the tax code, if not more. So it's all that a tax professional can do to keep it in touch with how to keep their clients in compliance with the tax law.
Gotcha.
So a lot of times there's not enough time that accountants have to get the education they need to proactively help their clients save money in tax. So above and beyond just keeping them in compliance with the tax law to limit the amount to tell them exactly what they need to pay. Well, there are ways to work proactively in helping business owners especially limit how much they can pay and actually understand how much tax they've saved, which goes right back into their pocket. Excellent. So that's what a certified tax coach does. It helps business owners, mainly and professional, that maybe investors and businesses and so forth, proactively tax plan and understand what kind of savings they can have going back into their pocket by doing so, and into their business pocket as well.
Perfect, excellent. So, from what I've worked through with you, I mean, there's some significant potential savings that can happen, right?
Yes, absolutely.
What's kind of some of the areas? What potentially can you save somebody?
I mean, some of the areas specifically are just, a lot of times it's looking at the business structure. A lot of times it's looking at how they go about paying expenses.
Sure.
There could be some expenses that the business owners might not think they can deduct for their business that they can and can do legally. There's a legal limit to it, of course. But at the same time, we've uncovered tens, even sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax savings for businesses. And not for businesses that have $50 to $100 million in revenue.
Sure.
These are businesses that have, anywhere from somewhere between $500,000 in revenue to a couple $1 million in revenue. Small sized businesses, but big for them.
Sure.
So that kind of revenue can still mean big tax savings, tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So I hope everybody kind of heard that piece of it. I mean, that's where one of the reasons I'm really excited to work with Ethan is, we work with small businesses as well, but in the way that he can help and save that amount of money is just phenomenal. And, if you're a small business owner, there's no reason not to take the time to kind of discuss when you can have those type of savings. So Ethan, go back to the clients. One of the things that I like to do when we're, having these spotlights is, a little bit about the stories, client stories, whether it's the big wins, funny stories, something that can kind of, a little bit about the many years that you've been in this position.
Right. So, I mean, there's been some clients over the years that we've helped a lot, saved a lot of money. And honestly, over the years before, really getting this new certification as a certified tax coach, I was the same as most other tax professionals. But there's been a lot of businesses over the years. There's a lot of contracting businesses that we enjoy working with, a lot of people in that are real estate investors or in the real estate business that we've helped over the years. And I enjoy working, I mean, in this area, especially northern New Jersey area where we're from here. There's a lot of construction going on with, you know, everybody, you know, that comes here calls us the construction state. So we deal with a lot of different businesses that have a lot of different nuances about them, you know, when it comes to, especially when it comes to construction.
Right.
And they're fun people. They're fun people to work with.
Sure.
They some of them have niches that I never even knew about. And that's what I like about being a CPA is, in addition to knowing numbers and working with people, there's so many different businesses that I never even knew could exist.
Right.
That I learn about, you know, by understanding who they are. Even when it comes to construction, there's so many different aspects of it that, you know, we have companies that install septic tanks in the ground, and they've been doing it for so long. You know, somebody has to do it, and they know the business.
Right.
You know, and that a lot of times, you know, a business like that, and especially if they're an entrepreneurial mind,
right,
they come across opportunities within that business. Like there's there's a client that is that installs septics, has done for 30 plus years, but that's transitioned into other things where he actually created a patent for a barge, a specific barge that can go into the water and pump septics that are on lakeside from the water, because it's hard to get access to their septics from the land.
Sure.
So and that's a spin-off of installing them. Now he does pumping of septic, and that's a specialty he does.
Great.
In addition to other things. So like that's what I enjoy hearing about. And then, you know, there's different ways that by having those different those different segments of his business, it can be structured in a way that maximizes tax savings for him.
Perfect.
So that's just an example of one that I've enjoyed working with over the years. And a lot of times, you know, a niche industry that a business might be in might create another niche for them in the marketplace. So and that means money coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
It means money coming in. How can they save more of that money? Sure. So how they can save more of that money is making sure first they set the proper foundation, being structured properly, and then that can lead to other things, just under us analyzing with them how they spend their money.
Right. Gotcha. Very good. You kind of answered a little bit of this, but what's your favorite part about being in this industry? What's the favorite part about your job?
Well, that's it. I'll add a little bit to that. Meaning, one of the things I like about my job too is I don't have to sit on the highway, traffic in the morning, commuting back and forth, and I feel really bad for those people that have to do that and keep a living. But I could set my time and flexibility.
Right.
There's times where I work hard and I work off hours for businesses because they all have different schedules where that's convenient for them to meet with me. But we could do that at a convenience of the client where their business is at and my schedule too. So I like the flexibility of having our own business and doing what we do, but also the flexibility of doing it in a way that I could dress up really nice one day and go to a professional studio, or I could dress up, with jeans and a shirt, in a nice way, of course, but go to a contractor's shop, and do that. So I like that kind of flexibility in our business too.
Excellent. So obviously not everything is always perfect and easy. What's the hardest part of this profession?
Yeah, I thought about that as you were asking the question. We've talked over the years about it, and specifically is when a business has challenging times, and money's tight,
right?
And they're paying us for a service. I have a hard time sometimes when it comes to asking people for money that they have to pay us when they're having a hard time. So we've been very flexible with businesses and people over the years when challenging times happen, and also helping educate them on how they can go about keeping, payments current, keeping payables current.
So to that extent, what are some of the pains that you see in clients or prospective clients? What are some of the common themes that you see that are the biggest challenges that you need to typically work through with them?
Yeah, I think in the very beginning, when a business is starting out, a lot of people, business owners make an investment into their business. And when they do that in the beginning, they get a lot of tax breaks in the beginning. But what that might mean to them down the road, mid to long term, is some of those tax breaks they got up front might go away. So it's our job to make sure they're taking advantage of all the tax breaks they are. But as some of them go away, they might still have to make payments on some of those investments.
Sure.
And those payments are coming from current profits of the company.
Right.
So they may have to pay tax on profits where those profits might not be on hand in their bank account. So that's one of the biggest challenges I know.
Sure.
We've had to help businesses understand that taking certain tax breaks up front and advancing those tax, some of them might, what that might mean to their business down the road.
Right. Gotcha. Well, that's great. So I appreciate that. I mean, you've gone over quite a bit of information. It's really great stuff. For those out there and people watching this, why should they work with you and your firm?
Well, I mean, I'd say from coming from all the points of view we talked about just today, I'd like to really listen and understand who a business is, who the owner of that company is,
right,
and what their goals are out of it. That's one other thing about being a tax professional. Most, like I mentioned before, most do all that they can to just keep their clients in compliance with tax law. Well, we are a well-rounded firm. We're almost like a one-stop shop for a business and their family when it comes to, not just on helping businesses understand the numbers, but helping them turn tax savings into true wealth for their family for now and long term. Gotcha. So we also have the ability to do that. We're wealth advisors as well.
Sure.
So we're a lot of accountants or CPAs or tax professionals. That's all that they do, and they work with other professionals. But we have that here. We do too. There are other things that we're not. We don't keep in touch with the law, and there's certain attorneys that specialize in certain areas, but we partner with them and bring them in certain cases, in certain ways. So we're kind of like the middle, the strategic center of influence for a business owner and their family.
Excellent. So I'm going to take that one step further before we kind of finish off. 3 things that potential prospective clients should know quickly about your firm.
Yep. We're trustworthy. You can have confidence and faith in us that we're going to be there. We return calls and messages, and we do it as best as we can we have a team of people that can be there for support for a business owner in many different ways.
Right. Excellent. Perfect. That's all great stuff, and I hope everybody has a really good understanding and again kind of sees the value that Ethan and the rest of his team can bring, especially with so many adjustments in the tax laws and everything that's happening right now. I think the most important and the key term that we talk about is being proactive, right? So I think one of the main differentiators in what you do and how you do it is that you're very proactive in how you handle clients, whatever it might be. So you're, a lot of accountants, unfortunately, fix problems after the fact, right? So you are kind of getting ahead of that, working through it and giving them a path to continue to retain those profits, continue to make more money, and allow them to kind of focus on their business, right?
Right.
Good. So, that's great. And that's, one of the many reasons why I do believe that it's very important to have a firm like yours. And so I think you're also offering a mini tax planning session right now as well, right?
That's correct. One of the things we'll do with that mini tax planning session is we'll actually take a look at your tax filing, take a look at your structure, business owner structure, and also understand what your goals are.
Right.
Because we can't be proactive if we don't understand where you want to go.
Sure.
So understanding where you've been, giving us a little bit of history, where you are today, and where you want to go in the future. That'll allow us to understand, okay, are you structured properly? Can there be things you could be maximizing and taking advantage of?
Sure.
And the tax code, and now the new tax code that could help you put money back in your pocket. So that usually takes 30 to 45 minutes. It's a strategy. We'll go through exactly how that would work for a business and how much savings they could potentially have. So that's what we come back with after that session is how much, here's what we've found. And even if we didn't find any, I'm sure we can give good tips. We've given good tips at times to help business owner make sure they're looking at structure for what goals they might have for it, for their mid and long term. But most of the time, commonly we find it, tens of thousands of dollars in tax savings for a business at least of a $500,000 in size.
That's awesome. Great. So if you're watching this video, that means that either on the right-hand side, just below, or even maybe right on the screen, there's a opportunity to click a link that can take you right to setting up that mini tax planning session with Ethan. That is completely free. He goes through that with you, and from that, will create just that session will create a tremendous amount of value. Ethan, there's no obligation to move forward from there, which is great. I think that you'll see that you'll want to, but nonetheless, there's an opportunity to discuss that with him, especially beginning the new year here and so much going on and going into tax season. There's really no reason not to. So on the right-hand side below, or even on the screen, you click that, takes you right to an opportunity to sit and discuss and have a call with Ethan to kind of go over a little bit more of that. Ethan, thank you so much for doing this with us today and providing that information. Anything else? Any last words to kind of for anybody out there?
No, the only thing I would just say is, think about taxes differently. If you're struggling with having to pay them and you're not sure why, or why you have to pay as much as you do, there are ways to change that. Especially now with the new tax laws going into effect, there is a lot of opportunity for a business owner this year and going forward.
Great. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yep.
It was great seeing you.
Great seeing you.
Thank you guys very much for watching. And again, right there, take a quick click, and you can get over to Ethan, talk with him, and save yourself a lot of money in 2018. Have a nice day, everybody.